Think about how much you've played in your life. Do you think that's something that you could even come close to if you
Something always comes up for me.
see? That's how I feel like something would have happened, or this guy truly has no life. Which, no offense to you, Michael, I love that you're doing this, but also get a life, bro.
I don't know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production powered by the ACDGC and the KDGA. I'm your host, Lucas Deal, and this is episode number 58. Today, we're shining some light on some non-DGPT action that happened this weekend, including a classic right here in our own backyard, the Glass Blown Open in Emporia. We'll break down some of the local performances there. Also, President's Cup kicks off Wednesday. Crazy that that's happening. USA versus Europe. Who's got the edge? We've got our thoughts, plus a Champions Cup preview, our first major of the year, and some news that's got everyone buzzing. Pro Worlds in Estonia in 2029. It's all in this episode, so stay strapped in. And if you have not, please subscribe to the Discin Deals Coverage YouTube channel. That's where you'll see all of our amazing podcasts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you never miss a single episode. But without further ado, let's bring in the real star of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. Smitty, what up, dude?
It's another day, getting closer to the summertime and out of school for a while, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. I'm noticing a shirt you have on here. Is that something special? Oh, wow.
Went back to my old backyard and played in the rock after being gone for probably 7 or 8 years.
I will tell you, if you've never played the rock, Indian rock, this is to anyone listening. If you've never played Indian rock, it is really unlike anything else that you'll see. It's got some of the craziest elevation shots. It's a temp course that's only there literally for this tournament. That is it. One time per year, people get a 20-hole layout that they get a chance to play 3 rounds at it. And even the last day, they push it back and even make it a little longer. It's a really cool tournament. Smitty, you grew up in Salina. How long has this tournament been going on?
Well, I know that I probably played it for the first time in 1998, maybe 99, somewhere. So, and it's been around before that. They used to play at the Rock and then at Lakewood, which is just around the corner.
Mm.
So I think I might be making that part up. I'm pretty sure he played both, but yeah, it was fun to be back. There's some shots that I played before, but not in Kansas. So we'll go with that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to have this hill just pop up in the middle of town and have big boulders and cool stories and nostalgia is always fun to play. And, I felt like I played pretty well the first 40 holes. I had 2 bad holes the first round, which hurt me, and 1 bad hole coming down the stretch the second round that hurt me big time. And then I played, many Christmas. You'll have to tune into the coverage to see, but it wasn't pretty, and I was not having any fun.
Yeah, so for those of you that did not know, Discin Deals coverage was there, getting all the action, and Smitty was fortunate enough to be on all 3 rounds, so make sure you check in. We'll be editing that up, and Smitty will be commentating on himself, so that's going to be a whole treat for you all to hear.
It's going to be hard.
But all right, dude, we had some cool things happening pretty close to us that wasn't Indian rock, and let's talk about that, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it to it.
Yeah, let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? And to Emporia, Kansas we go. The Glass Blown Open. Now, not the Dynamic Disc Open. And there was 87 pros in attendance. Pretty dang good field. Smitty, talk to me about this awesome tournament.
Well, for a long time, this tournament was what all tournaments hope to be for a lot of years. Setting attendance records and killer players packs, and Rusco and the crew and all of us that were involved with it back then really blew this thing up and made it awesome. And then they kind of went away from the glass blown theme and went bigger than anything else we normally had around here, made it a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, and kind of lost the AM following and kind of lost the age protected Masters following, and changed the name for a couple of years. But now we're back, and they're trying to go back to where they came from and hopefully rekindle some love for the courses. It's going to be tough, man. I think that when it was really in its heyday, I think the Emporia Country Club was one of the first disc golf courses on a ball golf course, and it was large at that time, and people were impressed by it. And now we see it every single weekend on much prettier, much more epic disc golf or ball golf courses. So kind of lost some nostalgia there. But I don't know too much about it. I was just watching scores. I think Terry Miller was there. We'll probably catch some post production, but we got some dudes at the top, man. Remember who you asked who was going to win on the first day?
I did. I can officially say that Smitty did say Nash was going to win. He also said who was going to win 40 and 50, and he was also right on those. So Smitty's pretty good at picking. You know who I picked, Smitty?
Hard telling.
Really? You're going to remember? I'm going to have to remember yours, but you're not going to remember mine? No, I said Parker.
Oh.
So okay. He was right there.
Well, and yeah, he was right in the mix. One stroke out of the lead, we can see. Zach Nash got it with 25 down with a smoking hot last round, 12 down out there at the Champs Landing is no slouch of a round. Well, that's with a bogey on 16. So apparently missed the island. So Zach Nash wins, holds off Parker by a stroke. The local kid, Isaiah Esquivel, kind of comes out of nowhere. He's been kind of struggling the last few years and had a great tournament and ended up 22 down, followed by Joel frickin' Freeman and GT Hancock. Those two dudes lock horns again for a battle. And then you throw local hero Jared Christ in there, our guy. Glad to see Jared kicking some butt and hopefully looking good on coverage. I'm sure he's looking good, but I don't know how good his play was. It looked like it was a little slower, but he'll look pretty. And then, you can see the list there. We got Ian, Jaden Rye, Logan in 9th place, Ethan Bishop and Andrew Presnell rounding out the top 10. So,
yeah, it's cool to see the mix of the locals there. Isaiah played really, really well at Classic in Cali as well. We'll see that coverage soon. I'm about to drop that this week, actually, and you'll see how he played there. But I'm telling you, Isaiah was with DD for a long time. They separated, and I really feel like he's learning new discs, getting to throw things that he's never thrown before. Like we always say, sometimes when you lose a sponsor, it kind of rejuvenates you to start practicing more, doing more field work because you're learning new things. And I think that may have really helped Isaiah.
And maybe he has something to prove.
I think that could be it too, especially because he was sponsored by Dynamic and he's at the home of Dynamic. So absolutely has something to prove. I agree with that.
So, and this was the Disc Golf Pro Tour Q Series. So,
yeah, it was. And what we didn't mention, Smitty, Zach Nash won that from the Chase card, from the third card.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Pretty sick.
12 down will do some moving there. You can see Joel frickin' Freeman shot 11. So he was smoking hot round as well.
Yeah, he jumped 14 spots. Yeah, pretty awesome.
So we also need to give a shout out to some local dudes who did quite well down there as well. So we already mentioned Jared in 4th place and Logan in 9th, both deep in the cash. Our guy, Grease Train, Keenan Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Got a top 15 finish with a really nice last round. Nolan in the cash moved up 16 places the last round. If there's a course that suits Nolan's game, it's the Emporia Country Club.
I was going to say, if all 3 rounds would have been at Champions Landing, then Nolan would have finished a lot higher.
Yeah. Did you see that he threed hole one?
Yeah. Not surprising, but still. And
I don't know if it was the long version or if it was
the women's
just past the green. It was like 999 feet, I think. So still 1,000 foot.
Yeah.
JoJo had a little bit of a rough last round, dropping 11 places and finishing 31st. And then we'll claim him. Grant Yoder from Heston finished tied for 35th and moved up 12 places. So Jared dropped a spot. Logan dropped a couple. Everybody except Josiah jumped up double digits out there.
Yeah.
So shows you those boys can sling a frisbee.
Yep. Yeah, pretty awesome local talent. And congratulations to all you boys for getting out there and competing. I know there was quite a few on the AM side too. Local Wichita guys finished fairly high up in different divisions. So kudos to all y'all too.
And there's several guys in the open division as well from Wichita that played pretty well. These are just the guys that got into the cash. So
yeah.
I had to draw my line somewhere, so it seemed like cash line was the line.
Good line. Well, let's talk about the President's Cup, shall we? That's happening this Wednesday. It's already here. This is just something it's during the middle of the week. We've talked about this before, but I just hate when they do this. I don't watch it. It gets no publicity, no hype. Do you agree? Like they need to do something different to get this more excitement?
They need to make it its own standalone premier event with multiple days, multiple formats. They're playing match play and they're playing stroke play in groups. This thing should be let's play some doubles.
Yeah.
Let's do some match play. Let's do some different formats of doubles.
You could even do something similar to the way the college disc golf works with their teams. You know, I'm not saying that's the answer, but something different.
I think these guys would all shoot 18 down. They're just too good to give them a mulligan. Like I guess that's what doubles is too. Though.
I mean, that's what doubles is. Yeah, it's just a team doubles. It's interesting. I just think it would be fun. It would be like a real team at that point.
Well, if this was its own weekend and really hyped up, and man, this could be the most fun event to watch all season. I think it would be exciting.
It feels like such an afterthought. It's like, hey, let's just throw this here.
Well, they're getting ready to prepare for, and it's always right before a major because that's what's going to bring the Euros to US or US to the Euros. But these guys would probably travel for the opportunity to represent their country, I would think.
Yeah. Great.
So, yeah, well, let's look at the teams a little bit and kind of fill out what we're thinking here.
All right.
So let's just look at the top lady there. We got Kristen Lott in the top dog lady slot versus Owen Scoggins.
All right.
You already know who I'm giving the nod to.
Yeah, thanks for playing, Owen. We love you, but Kristen's the best in the world.
Yes. She's not the world champ. She's the best in the world because the world champ is in the 2 slot for Euro, going up against a lady who might be having the best season of all the women this year.
Yeah, I like Holland's chances here. She's definitely a better putter than Evelina. She can throw the disc pretty darn well. Evelina is definitely a better thrower of the disc, but I think I give the edge to Holland because although Evelina throws the disc better, Holland's not too far behind and can putt better. So Holland, I'm giving you the nod. What do you think?
Just kind of depends what Evelina has going on. Holland's going to bring a solid game into the last 3 or 4 holes, and Evelina's just going to throw it well and miss putts.
Yeah.
So the number one dude slot that's a banger right now. These guys are probably the two hottest players on the planet, I think. Little Nick's already won 2. Gannon just came off of a win.
Mm-hmm.
Gannon Burr all day would be my pick.
I'm with you. Is that the American pride coming out of me? I don't know, but I just can't ever bet against that dude.
I think he's about ready to go on a pretty solid run of events here.
Yeah.
In the 2 slot, another great matchup. Simon versus Richard.
Yeah, this could go. I think this is going to be a good battle, but I think I also give the nod here to Rick, just with the intensity that he brings and the focus that he brings to those type of things.
It all depends on which Simon shows up. We know what Rick we're going to get. We're going to get Rick that's good. And we could get Simon, who's one of the most amazing talents we've ever seen, or we might get Simon, who's the guy who sometimes is the most amazing talent we've ever seen.
Yeah, you're right. It could go either way there, depending on which Simon shows up. But I even think if the best Simon shows up, I still think Rick has a small edge even there.
In the 3 slot for the gentleman, Vino versus Vinny.
Battle of the V's. And I give it to the Americans again.
USA, Vinny. USA, USA. I'm with you. I just think Vinny's way better player on a consistent basis.
I think that's it. The consistency piece, I think, is the biggest piece there.
Yeah,
I think Vino can absolutely play.
Yep. He's pretty slow, but he can play.
Well, the Americans also have Gannon, so we have our fair share of slow players.
And then this year's kind of ho-hum matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Euro Jake versus Team USA's 2-time Isaac Robinson.
Yeah. Isaac's stats they might surprise you, Smitty. He's had a slow year, but do you realize that he's only had one non-top 15 finish this year?
Yeah, I knew he was up there, but we want
a little surprising still.
To win.
Yeah, but I just mean if you compare that to where Jakob is, it's nowhere close. I think Isaac for sure takes this down.
Exactly.
And Isaac will help us with our time because that guy didn't take any time at all to shoot.
No, he's going to be fast. I'm looking here, and there's some other guys that didn't make this graphic that, I don't know why they didn't make the graphic. We got the fan vote. Who do you think the USA fan vote might be?
Who do people love? Paul?
Bro.
The hate Paul? Joey Buckets? AB.
Anthony Barella.
Okay, sorry. I'm there.
Anthony Barella got the fan vote for USA. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like Anthony Barella.
Yeah.
And for Team Euro, the Bazooka.
Bazooka, for sure. Yeah. And, Bazooka has no chance.
No, but there's going to be some bombs dropped.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. And then Captain's Choice, that's where Paul got in.
Okay.
Avery snagged Paul, and UC snagged Jona Heinonen.
All right. Well,
I'll take.
I really feel like Team USA is dominating every. I mean, I shouldn't say dominating, but I do give them a nod in every one of those, except for Kristen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you there, but I think this could be the closest year we've had. If just a few chips fall the right way, it could go real good for Euro.
Yeah, we'll see what happens starting Wednesday.
I won't. I'll be at work.
Yeah, me too. But I'll check the scores.
And I'll be at a track meet, so I'll be watching.
Oh, gross.
All right. So let's shift our attention to the big boy.
Mm-hmm.
And before we really dig in here, Lucas, I just want to see if you know who won the Champions Cup last year for the men and the women.
Oh, I don't remember. It was at Northwoods, right?
Where this thing should be at some sort of a wooded course.
Yeah. I don't remember. I know it was
It was the biggest shocker of disc golf major history.
yeah,
Prezi.
it was. Yeah, that's right.
Prezi
Fresno did
won.
win. That's right.
Yep. And
I do remember that.
Did you know who won the ladies? One of two majors she won last year.
Evelina?
Yep. That's true. And Kristen wasn't in the field for that event, but still, I mean, Evelina won it. So here we go. Give them their props. So, yeah, Prezi with the surprising win last year. And if you remember, Casey White was having a heck of an event.
Yeah, he was.
Then his finger broke open and he just couldn't get it. Ezra Robinson was right in the mix, and then he kind of went on tilt. So, and I don't remember squat about the ladies. I don't know. I don't remember it, but I remember it was the men's was exciting, and little Nick got second. So,
yeah. I forgot all about Prezi.
What does all of that mean for this year?
Absolutely nothing, because we're going to a wide open course. Well, it's not wide open, but it's a completely different style of course.
Yeah. I just wish that there was a place where this could go and stay and be there, because I think it's so much more fun when an event is historically at the same place.
Yeah.
USDGC, Ledgestone, whatever, Great Lakes Open, all awesome because you know what you're getting. But this was intended to be at the International Disc Golf Center, but the Beatles, of course, just destroyed all the trees.
Yeah, W.R. Jackson. Yeah.
And then the reason it's probably not at Northwoods Black is that's where Nate Heinold wants to do his Ledgestone event, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Right. So why give up your baby for somebody else's, which they're kind of all his babies because he weasels his way into getting them all. So I'm wondering if maybe New London, redesign of New London, might not be where this event ends up landing in the future. So
that could be cool. I think they'd have to probably change the timing of it. It couldn't be in this same stretch as far as the scheduling is concerned, but I'd like that course. I don't know what it looks like now that they had to take a few of the holes away.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a very cool course. It's got shot shaping. It's wooded, so you're punished if you aren't hitting landing zones. So that's the kind of course that I think a Champions Cup should be at. So I'm with you.
Yeah, something that gives a dude like Prezi a chance to win.
Yeah, because there's no shot that he wins it this year. No offense to Prezi, but these dudes are going to rip the disc 500, 600 feet on some of these holes, and it just makes the game so much easier for those guys.
That's right. That is true. So last year, like you said, doesn't matter, throw it out. Let's talk about something that does matter. Here's our top 10 at the OTB last year. This is the exact same course, Swenson Park, where they're playing this. Yep. So without giving away any spoilers for our picks coming up, you can see some dudes that shredded this place.
Yeah.
All have a couple of things in common. One, they throw far. Two, most of them throw far.
Yeah.
We got Vinny, Rathbun, Brandon Lotta. I don't know if Babcock's considered a bomber.
He is. Yeah, he bombs.
Well, bombs for us, but...
Well, I think he's on the... if he's not a bomber, he's on the cusp. He's about to graduate into Bomberville.
Okay. Sully, I don't know if Sully's a big bomber.
Big.
Rick, bomb. Aderhold, bomb. Robinson, another guy that throws hard.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Nash, Garrett Gerthy.
Yeah, if you see Garrett Gerthy in the mix, you know this is a bomber's paradise. No offense to Garrett.
But then look there, number 10.
Well, there's 3 at number 10, but
the middle one, the Weasel.
Yeah, he's the putter.
So,
but he's no slouch on that, but he's definitely not your elite distance guy.
Yeah, he lost by 8. So could be fun to watch. So we'll get into our picks here a little bit later, but I think this gives us a better understanding of what is going to win the Champions Cup over last year. I don't think we can take anything away from last year's event.
No, you can't look at any of those stats whatsoever.
Okay, so before I flip it over, got any predictions on the ladies?
Who's going to win?
Well, who do you think was in last year's top 10? I don't expect you to remember, but
okay. Well, it's going to be all the long throwers. So, and then the good putters. So, Kristen, you're going to have Holland. You're going to have Haley probably. Ella, of course. Yeah. How did I forget Ella? She won the dang thing. Kat bombs. Paige, look at her 5th place. I wouldn't say Madison Walker bombs, but yeah, those Owen. But Owen just makes up so many strokes with her putt. But
that's a lifetime finish for Madison Walker.
Yeah, Natalie Ross, of course. You know, she bombs for the ladies division.
But once again, we can't really tell much from this because there's some names missing from this list.
Yeah, there's no Euros here. I mean, besides Anakin.
Anakin is there, but yeah, where's Kristen? Where's Evelina? Where's Hannah?
Yeah.
Where's Haley King?
Yeah, I'm surprised Haley wasn't up there actually, but I'm also not surprised.
I don't think she was at the event, or she would.
Oh, okay.
There. So, yeah, it'll be fun to watch it shake down. It'll be, I guess, it's probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, since it's a major. So 4 days of disc golf to entertain us.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Looks like it's going to be raining this weekend, so that'll be something good to do.
Yeah, I'll be
getting tougher to watch when the weather's so dang nice.
Yeah, exactly. But all right.
So we got one more thing to talk about on what's popping, and I think it's pretty much popping. How about this? PDJ awards Estonia the 2029 World Championships. For pro World Championships. I also think they were awarded a couple of other majors before that time to kind of get them ready to go. What do you think about this?
I think they did such a killer job on their last tournament that it's not shocking to me. I'm just hoping by that time, I mean, mind you, it's 4 years from now. I'm hoping that the course evolves a little bit because it didn't seem like it challenged them. It was beautiful, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Everything that happened with that tournament, it was a spectacle, if you will, but it wasn't challenging as far as a world championship is concerned. What are your thoughts?
I agree with that completely. It was fun to watch. It was awesome to see him throw off of that stadium out into that field. The pyrotechnics were incredible. Remember when Bazooka came out and started the Skull Champ?
Oh, yeah, it was so cool.
That was awesome. But, yeah, I don't think the course was World's quality. I think they're going to struggle there. And Worlds generally is played on 2 courses. So I don't know what their other course is. They, like you said, it's 4 years out, and they're, I think, got a gazillion courses, so hopefully they have something that can stand up to the best in the world.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing for me is, they're so behind the sport there that they can make a ton of things happen in 4 years. So I'm not concerned. I think it's going to be very different than it is now. I guess I hope it's very different than it is now, because if it's not going to be that cool.
Yeah, it'll be awesome regardless. They'll come through and make it fantastic. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
So, well, got anything else?
I don't think so. I think it's time to jump into it.
Do that one thing.
That one. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Dun da da dum. Weekly
picks.
All right, Smitty. It is time to do some picks. It's been a second because we didn't.
Yeah.
The one episode we missed, we didn't get to do picks. So it's been a few weeks since we've got to do these, and we're going to do these picks all about Champions Cup coming up at Swinson Park in Stockton, California. So we know it's a bomber's paradise. So with that being said, we didn't really have anyone that won last time. So really it would have been me still. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and defer to you.
You're going to let me go first?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind.
All right. I'll start out with a sleeper.
Oh, okay.
This dude, in my opinion, is trending in the correct direction. He had a couple of rough events, but he's going to do great here. Did great. He did great at the last event. Give me the bird. Give me the bird.
All right. That's a good one. He is trending in the right way, and I did not pick him. So that's good for you for sure. But you know who I did pick is someone that did extremely well here at OTB last year. And it's kind of the obvious choice, but I'm a huge fan of Obvious. He also played pretty darn well at KC Wide Open, but hasn't really been in the mix that much. So his ceiling is high. No, we're going to say Gavin Rathbun.
Yeah, it's a good pick. He got second last year.
Yeah, and he just throws so dang far, and I think it could really, really suit him this course. So I think we're in a good spot because he's kind of been up and down this year. So I don't know exactly where he is for the stats this year, but I think he's given me some room that if he finishes top 20, I think I'll have a good jump.
That's right. And we're at a point now where we're just using stats from this year. So we're no longer relying on what they did last year. It's what have you done for me lately?
Mm-hmm. All right, Smitty, I'm going to go with the, again, obvious choice here on Shine. He won the event last year, not Champions Cup, but OTB. He's Mr. Consistency. I know he's at least going to be up there if he doesn't win. So give me Vinny Calvin Heimberg as my Shine.
It's a good pick. It's hard to go against the guy who won it last year, throwing laser beams all over the course. But I'm going to go with the guy that looks at Vinny's laser beam, laughs, and grabs a mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, in this case, probably a putter.
Yeah, the Luna, I'm sure.
Mr. Anthony Barella. Going to get his first major.
Okay, I like it.
What you forgot is this is a major.
Hey, Vinny's going to get his first major.
He has some major history with majors.
So does AB.
Well, yeah.
At least Vinny has been there. He's learned from these experiences. That's what you got to do, right?
Yep. So that takes us to our stink. Yep. You ready?
Uh-huh.
I'm going with the 2-time champion this year on tour. Give me Little Nick.
Okay. Lil Nick. Crazy. He isn't the furthest thrower, but he still is good. He's consistent. He's not going to make a ton of mistakes. That's tough. Where did he finish? Where did he finish?
26.
26 last year. But yeah, because he's finished so high, you're right. That's a good call by you. I see what you're doing.
And he took KC off.
Yeah, smart. Okay, I see what you're doing. That's a really good pick just based off statistics alone, I like that now. I hate my pick now. I kind of want to change it to Lil Nick, but I won't.
No.
I won't. Yeah, the more I think about that Lil Nick pick, you're right. He can just be just okay, and you're still probably. Do you know where he averages?
It's got to be good.
It's got to be top 10 or at least top 15. So, all right. Well, then I'm going to still give mine the way I would have anyway. And I'm going to go with someone that has been trending extremely high, played really well Casey Wide Open and the tournament before. He's got that lefty in him, got the arm sleeve, and I think he's not going to do as well here at Champions Cup. So give me Austin Turner.
That's a pretty good pick. I don't know how he did it. Chess.com or whatever it was called this year.
It wasn't that good.
Course. So, yeah, he's there's a high probability he's either going to shred or not. Yeah,
I'm hoping it's not this week, but then the rest of the year he can play extremely well.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see where he's rated or where he ranks.
Yeah, he got 35th in this tournament last year too, so it's kind of not the greatest spot to be because it's like I need you to really collapse or really shred and just make me look bad. Let me take somebody out. Is he winning it, Smitty?
Austin Turner?
Yeah. Am I taking you to Roadhouse? Okay, so no. I'm not on Roadhouse alert?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about Lil Nick, though?
Not winning.
Okay. All right. Well, there are our picks. Hey, we'd love to hear your picks, too. Who do you got as a shine, a sleep, and a stink for Champions Cup? Let us know.
Let us know.
Smitty, something else we have cooking is Survivor League.
And we're alive.
Yeah, we are. After
1 week.
1 week. So here we go. Second week, we have 22 people left out of the 25. And so here we go. Smitty, tell me your thoughts. I'm going to show you the pages. Let me add this here. And here we go. You and me. Our shines matched our picks for Survivor League.
We're safe.
We're safe. All right. Let's see if everyone else followed trend and did something smart, or do we have some people going against better judgment that we always say, hey, pick someone that you think is going to score high. Don't try to take some type of underdog at this stage in Survivor League. So let's see what people are doing.
Well, you think we make it past week 2 often, wouldn't you?
I mean, I give advice like I know what I'm talking about, but here we go.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we're a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of, man, this is going to be a fun week.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have this many.
I obviously think the Gannonburr pick is safe.
Okay.
It's hard to go against Chris Dickerson. He's a, constant top 10 dude. We just talked a little bit ago about two-time, generally not on lead card, but in the top 15 mix.
Yeah. Are you concerned with him at all on a course that's a little bit longer, though?
That dude throws way farther than we think he does.
All right, that's fair.
Beast, I like to think he's safe, but I'm not confident that he's safe. He's been on a roll, but he's due to have a down week, I think. Obviously, I like Anthony. Little Nick. Alexis went Little Nicky.
Yeah. That's your stink.
Yeah, I would be a little concerned if I was him, I think. But I don't know. Maybe he's just bubbling with confidence and rejuvenated from a few weeks
at wins. Home. Yeah, and 2 wins too.
Yeah. Obviously, we both think Vinny's going to make it. Here's somebody that took your boy Rathbun.
Yep.
I can't see the name.
Jay Zimmy. Jay Zimmy.
Okay. And Anson took Simon.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little worried there.
And the rest?
Depending on which Simon we get. And I just think Rick's good to go.
Okay, so really, from what you've said, there's really only 2 or 3 that are. But that's the cool thing. You never know. You never know.
Yep. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I truly love how many people are in this one. It makes this so much more exciting, but it also sucks once we get out because it's probably going to last a little bit longer, too.
Not a freak has a bad week.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to eliminate 6 right there. So, woo.
Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Lucas takes a deep dive into things that everyone is talking about. Maybe in this case, not everybody's talking about it. Whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or are just a total overblown, yeah, big deal, bro. Get ready for some hot takes, sarcastic commentary, and a little bit of drama. Because in this segment, we'll decide whether it's a big deal.
All right. What is on the agenda this week?
4,224 days in a row of playing disc golf in Wisconsin.
Huh.
Lucas, is that a big deal? Or is that a get a life, bro? Big deal. That's 11. That's 11 and a half years.
I think that's pretty amazing. I want to know how he's counting this. Like, what is considered playing? You know what I mean? So did he just throw a couple putts one day, or is like he going out and playing a full round every time? And if that's the case, that's a huge deal. And that is amazing. That is so good for you. I wonder what kind of shape he's in. He looks like, yeah, doesn't look overweight or anything. That's cool. Maybe I need to get on this trend. That's so cool. It's crazy that it's tracked. I don't know how much I believe it, but it is cool. I'm sure something would have happened one time when he couldn't play. But if that's truly the case, that's amazing. Very big deal. Smitty, what do you think?
How he tracked it, I don't know. I don't know that UDisc has been around for 11 and a half years. I do know of people who have running streaks much longer than this. Right? Runners are crazy. There's dudes that have ran every day for 25 or 30 years.
Yeah, I wonder where Scott Ramser falls there. Do you think he misses days?
I don't know.
I
would assume it'd be tough to get out every day, but I also assume it'd be tough to play disc golf in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Snow? Tons of snow? Rain?
Yeah, I'm with you. If this is going out in the backyard and putting for 5 minutes counts as playing disc golf, or did this guy finish some holes? So did he play 9 holes at minimum? What did he do? So yeah, if he truly played disc golf, that's kick butt, dude.
Yeah, that's super cool. Super amazing. That's kind of like you though, Smitty. You don't usually miss too many days. Like play. Well,
I've been missing a lot since track season and everything has started.
Yeah, but like if you didn't have your coaching, you're basically an everyday guy, right? You are typically getting a round in quickly after work. You go up and at least, and I think you're doing like a whole 18 every time, right?
Yeah, typically. Usually.
Yeah, so could you, think about how much you've played in your life. Do you think that's something that you could even come close to if you...
Something always comes up for me.
See, that's how I feel like something would have happened, or this guy truly has no life, which, no offense to you, Michael, I love that you're doing this, but also get a life, bro.
I don't know, man. Maybe he has a great life. Maybe that's why he's able to do this.
Okay, maybe he's just really good at time management.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Regardless, pretty awesome, and good find there, Smitty.
Yeah, thanks. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. All right. So, any shout outs for the week?
Yeah, obviously everybody in Salina who took the time to carry 18 baskets out to a park. I don't know if they picked them up at night or not, but they had to pick them up to clean up the park. So obviously Phil Schmidt, the rest of the club, Joe Morrison, and of course Brandon Mace for always being the TD at the Rock for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, it's such a cool event. I'm really excited to get that one edited up and get it out to you all to see, because it was really cool. And I think I said Classic in Cali is coming out this week. I'll probably push it out next week just so we can all concentrate on the major this week. I think that'd be smarter. But regardless, can't wait to get this all out for y'all. And I do want to mention my shout out is Trevor Wood, who was the very first player ever to get an ace on Discin Deals coverage. Well, the first tournament coverage ace, because Ronnie got one. But pretty awesome, and I can't wait for you all to see that, because the way that it went in the basket is pretty killer. It's pretty cool.
I saw it. It was interesting.
You didn't like it so much then.
No, I was fine with it. I was out of the tournament by then.
But spoiler alert, Smitty doesn't win, I guess.
Not even close.
All right. Well, we'll see you all next week as we break down the Champions Cup and the President's Cup and talk all about it. Make sure you come on back. Let us hear from you in the comments. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye now.